the fact that I had to come to that realization that I'm not the same person. I can no longer push myself physically and get things done was hard. So hard. Like crying on the floor, like crying on the couch, crying everywhere. Hard.
Who was David before his vestibular disorder and his stroke?
Before my vestibular disorder, I was a very work hard, play hard kind of person.
I was a guy that I felt like I was on top of the world.
Life was full of force. I mean, it was very fast, entertaining, and full of passion.
I used to have so many passions in my life.
Passionate.
I was an impromptu guy.
I'm not afraid to, try a new dancing class.
I used to make trips with my friends, fly out to some destination, do road trips.
I was going on as many trips as possible whenever I had time off.
I was more energetic.
Independent, outgoing.
I was outgoing, I was extroverted, I was having fun.
Excited about life and the work that I was doing as a radio presenter.
I was someone who was very career driven.
I wanted to make that bigger and better.
Basically, I was very intense, I was very productive, I was very hardworking.
A type A personality.
One of the top performers of my team.
I was an emergency medical technician for 25 years.
I had a career in watch design.
I was an award-winning teacher.
I was a musician for many years.
I was also civic-minded.
I had a burning desire to volunteer and help people.
And I had nothing but bright lights in front of me.
I definitely made more plans.
It's funny, we make plans, but God laughs.
What does that feel like to lose your life?
When my former self didn't match who I am today.
That expectation of that every day is going to be that awesome, what it was before, it's not the same now.
When this condition hit me, it turned my whole world upside down, literally.
I felt like everything had been taken away from me.
I felt sad. I felt weary.
Just a few months after my diagnosis of mania, I was writing down, I'm feeling exhausted, anxious.
I felt defeated at first.
Hopeless?
Powerless, lonely.
I felt broken.
All the plans that we had made and all the goals we had set, it felt like I couldn't achieve those goals anymore.
And for someone who is so career driven and passionate about their goals,
I felt really trapped in my body.
I was physically unable to push myself.
Like I'm stuck in this box.
Stuck in this miserable feeling of vertigo and dizziness.
And I just felt like, why can't my body cooperate with me? Why is it doing this to me right now?
Why me?
Why me and why now?
I was just frustrated and angry.
Angry.
I was very angry. I was confused. I was hurting.
I couldn't do the activities that I used to do.
I lost my independence.
I felt dependent.
Like I couldn't drive.
I wasn't able to drive. I wasn't able to walk by myself.
I have to think of so many different parameters now before planning anything.
I could no longer throw the ball in the side yard with my son. I didn't have the balance for it.
A lot of things changed. Obviously, I had to stop working.
I could no longer work.
I could no longer teach.
I couldn't be in front of a computer.
Computer screens are one of the biggest triggers for this imbalance.
So my whole career focus had to change.
My goals got stripped away of being a musician the rest of my life.
As a painter, my eyes have to kind of navigate through the canvas and the surface, and just moving my eyes too much would cause me vertigo attacks.
My struggle is like 30-40% more than the older self of me doing the same things.
I would write down the word hope and then a question mark. I feel there was a light at the end of the tunnel.
I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel.
I was at a low in my life, a low that I've never felt before.
I feel so lonely. isolated, misunderstood.
And alienated.
My disassociation and my isolation got so bad that no one really knew who I was because I didn't know who I was.
I was feeling like my life was over,
It felt like death.
like I was never going to be me again.
When you lose something, sometimes it's hard to see what's next.
And I don't think you have to know exactly what you want to do or where you want your life to go. It can happen very organically.
Who is the new me?
You know, if you ask me now who I am,
Who is the new David?
I'd like to say I have it all figured out, but
I don't know.
I'm still really a work in progress.
It's a different me.
The things that this disorder has changed about me are good things.
It's David 2.0.
I would say I'm resilient.
A more resilient person.
More resilient than I thought.
I'm courageous.
A more patient person.
More patient, more understanding.
I'm a lot more mentally flexible, even if I can't be as flexible with the activities that I participate in.
I'm more adaptable.
I have had to be brave.
And feeling normal is not the thing.
But I'm not letting that hunt me every day.
I have accepted that.
I'm trying to go out there and live every day to the fullest of my capacities.
I'm a warrior.
And yes, guess what? I'm still enthusiastic and spontaneous.
I'm doing a lot of the same things I did before, but I've had to adjust how I do them. I had to adapt to the situation.
Having the courage to open new doors around me, I discovered new passions that replaced some of the stuff that I had lost.
Once I started getting into a groove and devoting what I could do and how I could work in my new way, I started to have a sense of purpose and excitement about what the future was.
I started using what I know how to do and what I love doing, my passion for the arts and for creating. I started using that tool to communicate.
And I'm still able to do some of the things that I was doing, so I'm still doing radio.
I've become more interested and active as a writer.
I was getting a lot of passion and joy out of cooking and talking with people and sharing my story.
I started connecting with other vestibular warriors.
And I sort of fell into, oh, there's a need for this.
Part of me that wanted to help and encourage and inspire others in the face of hopelessness, that still burns in me.
By losing my ability to work, that I discovered a passion for advocacy and helping people that go through what we go through.
I'm helping them improve their lives and get their lives back and feel excited about the future, even with a vestibular disorder. And that is like, oh my gosh, everything to me. Like, it makes me smile.
And wow, it gets me really emotional because I feel like I felt so alone. And then the fact that these open a door, a world of possibility, of hope.
And yeah, things are okay. Things are okay.
I think this disorder has put me like 2 years backwards in terms of like achieving those heights of the future which I had planned for. But that's fine now. I mean, for me, sanity and peace is very important.
My priorities have totally shifted. My viewpoint of life has totally shifted.
I have a much, much, much better perspective about life.
It's okay not to be 100% all the time.
I think I actually enjoy life more because I realize how fragile it can be.
In a lot of ways, David has changed, but in a lot of ways, he really hasn't.
I want my life to be full of passion. I want my life to be full of meaning.
Now I focus more on doing things that are meaningful.
But it's up to me to make that decision, and it's up to me to open up new doors.
And I'm 100% sure that I am going to achieve them. But it's just slow and steady and balanced.
And I like to believe that this process, although it changed me a lot, and it was quite challenging and maybe even traumatizing, it also changed me for the better.
I'm a better person.
Because I do believe that I am able to not only help myself, but help others that are searching for that little bit of light, that little bit of hope.
Now I can say that my art has a true meaning, and besides doing something that could be beautiful and appealing to the eye, it has a strong message, a powerful message of resilience, of being vulnerable but strong, and just getting out of the dark hole.
Sometimes life has a funny way of working out like that, and it's been a ride.
You don't know what life is going to throw at you, and you don't know how you're going to deal with it until it happens, and you don't know how resilient you actually are. Until those things happen.